na no ana Paul Adom Okyere a oye Good Evening Ghana e Metro TV na ono so de nsem bia batudwa ana so okwase mako edu 10 questions adema omampani Mahama.
Question number 1. Mr. President, the 10 churches that is claimed you built for the Assemblies of God Church, was it with state funds or was it with your personal funds? In terms of having press conferences, you seem to have always conducted your first press conference quite late as compared to other presidents. What is the reason for this? There was even an allusion to a meeting between the late Dr. Mani Boama and Kwabena Edubuahin. Mr. President, can you confirm that you received some monies from the National Security Secretariat during the campaign as alluded to by Kwabena Edubuahin in his letter to the National Security Coordinator?
Abusua mobia kwaba ne sanso edobia wo subscribe to Abro GH Politics TV ya mobia kwaba yebo abaso pa sanse ye nyina na ye tichire oman no abom no na bibia atumi ayekama eti abre bia ba hia wa ha bia no na chese for God and country or say there be nothing but the truth ya sanso ahia a ye bebo nkomo ye ne fans enti no bomade se wa wunya subscribe no yeah, one big family to subscribe there na so oya hoho yesrew enye hoho fa ho ka abusua no na subscribe to the channel osaka video nso a na wa share dem obi na obi so atie bi na afeso ya like program no na fa o comment bra na etumi enye kama pa me no kasai anra omampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene ensentrefo ko hia ebobo nkomo na nkomo bo no mo bi na se kansen bebre na no ana Paul Adom Okyere a oye Good Evening Ghana e Metro TV na ono so de nsem bia batudwa ana so okwase mako edu 10 questions adema omampani Mahama ya ebi ni se abeti omampani Mahama nko ade obedi mampani ana so obedi mampani a tama wo so hia press no oya press conference and central for ekasa no one do to trawa webe ansana waba abaye onin central for abekasa wo se onte ase enye wenku a o questions ndo so pa mintwin kan nyina etu de ben se yenko tie Paul Adom Okyere questions mako 10 ya wato e de amane omampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama se onyia no na otie yetie Paul Adom Okyere mresisi ai
me pa cho se wo ye bema na ukodru fie enemu akoye problem wo yire e complaini wo girlfriend e complaini me pese wo hwade bi wo fatase emfa nhye beyie anankase obi na ayewo check ma me hwade wo de duro so ebi won ma na e pressure diabetes ana any form of eduro bi a wo da su bi an prostate bi ade nyina wo de duro so a kanokra kire me se wo ye bema na watwetwe wo bema pen ebi a wo school na watwetwe wo bema ebi a wo tukwa kwa brochire ebi a wo ire ja ebi a wo fi oga na watwetwe wo bema bebi a wo bias wo esa de ni bi pen ana wo da so ye a mesira wo da so ye a jai cause enya de papa why ye bi jai nso kanokra kire me ebi ono wo dwale nsuom nsuo no wo dwale no ama owa na odwunso ne kola blem na odwunso moja se we ja ekọ
your friend behavior
onim se saade no eden ekọ but before God the man we ni beti no na ede nsunsanso ebro mpenimbrem ye obi so no wanya ndem yawe syphilis gonorrhea bebre yare different types oso o metriti ekọ ba ne beti no na fi nsuo fitaa bi nsuo yellow bi efini be memu ba ebu obe na rashes bi begu be ma no ho ewa na ekọ ewa na ba ebesi na wutimu pe na akopia se mesre wo fata se me kan kire se kanokura no ma woduro wato ne din treatment the ode duro so pressure diabetes ye bema wo duro wo pressure ne be drop it down. I promise you nothing but the truth. So obi catch you say diabetes pressure obetime tu ase a catch you say me say oboa bisa any professional doctor. Na ye ombibiduru a wo fata de bema obe no no ma ebe drop na badan e ma won kono no ndrom o mema sem ko for problem ma 1200. Sai de mani ban so a e ma be mani timi fon. Ebu obe mani timi sorry e ko show ba na ase a acha 1 minute 2 minutes na adwo adwo a ensori biem misrew kanokre ne e ma woduro se be mani mu be den a eno so ye 1500. The idea back one a man in pay double love double 6 obi friend dark says omon pay oko butu no so na 2 minutes 3 minutes na won sare da bi ofata say obema we duro a ya to ne di sorry me so ne 2000 Ghana cedis eno e ma be ma ho che wo mpa so de ho adwuma ye no enti mema duro no se be ma na so ate afon na opese ye kese tenten kama 1500 emu na enya den na opese mu ye den a 1500 afu du boss one we je mu a ebe ma sorry me so ne 2000 Ghana cedis ene ma ho che e wo mpa so we ni nduro miensan sa miensan nyina se watwetwe wo be ma pen wo de duro so when you ndemu yare se me chechire mu na bibi wo sa kanokura ni for treatment ni kan ho na enye adwuma mawo na wankasa abro metode e kese na anya kese abro metode mu wode na mu nya den mesrew se dan no wensi foundation a untimi nsi abronsan no na me de me ka twato no se wo fantasy me kan twa se e ma koko hawo nipa bia wo koko be ma wo ba obia wo bi nanso e te se malaria e de se headache obia de different obinya kata akoda hospital obinya kata otwa tuto na akọ eti de koko fifi no to de koko fifi no ni ase de oja ne na ya moja bra obi ro no ho chiro se oyi no to koko chiro won uyem besew mesro ti sa koko na e ha no wo fata be ma woduru 1200 bottle ba ko 600 ba obi hia mienu na wotu ase afiri wo koko betime mo opusa woni na e ko show lens mesrew enkonko yo operation ko 4000 5000 bia GBB duo nanom Ghana ha mi okuma se asafo ship house se wo hwehwe me a asafo ship house ena me wo me se me nton duro ka mu eduro no so me nton mo bia ko me ne wo fata o contract say obia beto firi me ho me pese obekọ koduru bebi na akosei enu kire me chi me oba Ghana ha me ye radio presenter ba ye djuma wo Angel FM all these years oba Fache TV a me ye djuma Fache TV Kumasi udru asafo ship house ne nchen school na woni abrotia GHS abrotia ni opposite hana abros pap wo hana abro GH multimedia wo ha Miami studio timi chire mechi unto eduro na anya adwuma brana baji usika ayi adwuma nso a entade empabo watch mamine fesiesie me ho na be ye adwuma be di kan wini dada tipegu wonom ansa na wa frame 0243 302191 0243 302191 ye mane wa manane a post ni 500 Ghana cedis Ghana hade be obia no ye betimi ade amount.
Question number 1. Mr. President, the 10 churches that is claimed you built for the Assemblies of God Church, was it with state funds or was it with your personal funds? That's question number 1 for President Mahama tomorrow. Question number 2. Mr. President, Johnson Adom Okyere argues that a state of emergency is not the way to go to address Galamsey, which is contrary to the position taken by the NDC during opposition. Do you agree with your party chairman, Johnson Adom Okyere, that you cannot give a state of emergency in the Galamsey areas? That's question number 2. Question number 3 for the President of Ghana. Mr. President, the United States has now cut Ghana off the MCC. Will you now redeploy Mr. Alexander Mould to another office? That's a soft question. So if you have to drop one question, you can drop. That's a soft question. We are just asking about what the MCC will be doing now that the Americans are not dealing with that situation. All right. Question number 4. Mr. President, over the last 8 months, which minister would you term as the best performing and which will you term as the worst performing among the following ministers? Minister for Justice, the Attorney General. Minister for Energy. Minister for Communications. Minister for Foreign Affairs. and the Minister for Health. I give the list of ministries again from which we are asking the President to choose the best and the worst. Justice and Attorney General, Energy and Renewable something, Communications, Sam George, Foreign Affairs, Ablakwa, or Health, Minta Akando. That's the one that we used to answer the questions in primary school. Take the odd one out. Shade the odd one out. Which one will the President take? We'll see that. We'll hear that from him when the press conference comes. Question number 5. In terms of having press conferences, you seem to have always conducted your first press conference quite late as compared to other presidents. What is the reason for this? Do you want to gather all or more information before you do your press conference? Now, the meaning of this question is that we have looked at all the other former presidents of the Fourth Republic who did press conferences, starting with Kufuor. Kufuor did his press conference in the first 100 days. Professor Mills had his press conference in April. Nana Akufo-Addo has his press conference in July. During the first administration of President Mahama, he actually had his first press conference the following year after his inauguration. He was sworn in January 2013. He had his press conference 1 year, January 2014. This time, he's having his press conference 8-9 months down the line. The question is, why does he take so long to have the press conference? All right, the first press conference. Question number 6. Following the unfortunate helicopter crash, there has been a conversation about purchase of a new presidential jet. Has the Ghana Air Force advised you to initiate the purchase of a new presidential jet? That's the question for the president. You didn't add, producer, that Sami Okujeto said that the presidential jet currently there is in pristine condition until 2030. So our question to the president is that Okujeto having said that the presidential current jet is in pristine condition until 2030, which doesn't come, it comes even after the next election. Has the Ghana Air Force advised His Excellency John Mahama to get a new presidential jet? That's a question for the president. Okay. Question number 7. Mr. President, there is a conflict in Boku Nation was the legitimate chief of Boku. Do you think the current disturbances are as a result of that act of yours? That is asking the president a direct question. That during the campaign, you said there was a legitimate chief in Boku, and now there's conflict. Do you think that your saying so may have occasioned the conflict? Question number 8. Mr. President, how will you fund the 4 billion 24-hour economy project now that funding has been withdrawn by the MCCE? Now, the reason why we link MCCE to that is MCCE was giving us some money to do certain things. Now they are not there again, especially in terms of agriculture. We may have to find our own money for that. Whilst you are finding your money for that, Augustus Guzitano and his team say that you need 4 billion to begin and actualize the vision of 24-hour economy. So the question to the president is that, where are we on the 24-hour economy? Now we know we need 4 billion. Now we have some 100 million that was coming that we now need to cough it up ourselves. In all of these circumstances, where are you going to find a free 4 billion to initiate the vision of the 24-hour economy? That's the question for the president. Question number 9. And this is a very, very, very controversial one. Question number 9 for the president. Mr. President, Kwabena Edubwai mentioned in his letter to the National Security Secretariat that he had handed over some money to the NDC to aid in their election results coalition capacity. There was even an allusion to a meeting between the late Dr. Mahama Wón't and Kwabena Edubwai. Mr. President, can you confirm that you received some monies from the National Security Secretariat during the campaign as alluded to by Kwabena Edubwai in his letter to the National Security Coordinator? That's a very controversial and very touchy question to the president because it's asking him to divulge national security secret. But if the question comes, let's see how the president will deal with it. Question number 10. Last one. During the period that Ghana cedi was gaining value against the dollar, the prices of goods were not commensurate with the currency trend. Could the Bank of Ghana have done anything to avert this? That's a question for the president again. I don't know whether he's going to have his ministers lined up. I guess they will be there. So if they will be there, this is a question for Case Lato Forsen. Viewers, if you have some questions to add to my 10 questions, please send it to us on our social media page. Good Evening Ghana Official.
Obia ji usika. Obi ji wasase. Obi ji woyere, obi ji ukuru. Oto ande ayento. Utuo na mo anko yi a, Frenana Eric. Se wo obia minim asem ato de ba problem bi a won bi ensunsuma sem bia Frenana Eric. Biso tiem ye. O Frenana Erica. Na wo kono wa ubetua ska e de ato consultation bi aba ubetua se wonni wompo ana wama no ne owan fa no be free phone so a sa na consultation de cause eno no do beto snap na de ahwehwe wu nsem ni mu ewie a ejuma na eso ye ma ono de obehia so yen kosua baako moko baako a wo beto wa de aba untimi amobi koto mbre no so no an so ma ne nkola koto be koto de ama o ya na wo wahye ne bo se eye yi a mema wo sei meye wo sei mete wo sei enyame na beka cho woni ne beka na meme ka cho sei ebe ye yi enti wo hye kwa hye bo obetimi adi so emfa ade ni yawo ni pense wo mko hye se miwe memo abronsan ebe wetire wo plot poda ho Ferna Eric 0241681411 0241681411
Abushantu ene aya Paul Adom Okyere na Paul Adom Okyere se nyina so yebeka na nsentem ono so yoko no ogene de yes anso yoko fo nu ase edne kokotra ho no ama chese ye kan amafo di hu nkomo a ansa na duru be 4 days so sen ye no edne pie ntina so another information wo eye Paul Adom Okyere ono so hono no na questions na wode ma ye wura Mahama no ebi a very vital wo se ni ministers no hwan pa na agba adwuma saa 9 months o mabedu aban mu yi na hwan so no wa popa wo yi institutions ni bi anase ministries ni bi ti say Sam George awoda Ministry of Communication and Digitization wo yi no obonidin ka ho okom so ye bisa no ho questions ni bi obisa Minister for Health Akando also obisa na fi so many of them questions ndo so pa ba me sure say wo so nya botana wutia obehu said the Paul Adom Okyere questions obisa no are they relevant questions and they are just politically motivated questions. Now even if they are politically motivated questions is it wrong say ebeye politically motivated questions ana we mu na questions Paul Adom Okyere ebisa na ensam no doso na nso no ye be kono kakra na yetumi ama obi aso ehunu nia ekoso na busua me ka wo so wo kumase Accra Cape Coast takrade eni de kika ho a na sa opeka bi de wire round so me so men ko ha ho enko ne number bi nko fa ka bi makira nko ho nsam enko ye bebre me kanfo shazi ena de ama ho shazi abrante shatawale transport company friend shazi no bomode aso ba download app on their two phones so shazi app no ko Play Store search shazi app nanya search shazi na wunyanya pe wadu details na ekuso eti bia wonam bia so wo kumase so wa kra so Cape Coast wunya koduru ho ana wo peka bi dia around so a wunya boy a eyipie na de eni ka won se we no esansa nipa no de wo credible ntino in terms of safety we are safe in terms of price very cheap in terms of availability de bia ho so ata say nti bomade say wo de shazi ebedu djuma na bibia so atumi kama da utiribe ya be obe request ya beba na sa shata na etwu de na se wato adi wunya kyede no won san so ntua hwe wabra wo de shazi no ayo around na sa shazi de a new dawn indeed approach GH multimedia force obi biara wo ba be program bia na pese wunya quality cameras and experienced cameramen, experienced saying editors, no be edmana mano, but what is that order on Tuma boy Ediano, near the kama at the amount. Abroad GH multimedia force. So we anniversary be, we wedding anniversary, we birthday party, anything. I'll bring your camera there. Ya share no soba. Unya live band and swa, and also see about be. Yebetu am ojeko anasa na tabiri no mabobo ati amount sa asusu na chese enema no doso etu de be answer friend no CCCI 0243 302 191 0243 302 191 eyade a ebebo wuye pa na atumi so aboa abro pub and kitchen so ye ba bia ye didie aduane papa fie eti so obedi aduane a bra abro pub and kitchen yensa no nsa bia pa bia wo wiase afana bia no ebi wa ha aduane nso abafufuo banku mutuo akpele la pe wo pola chamon nkwan ni nyina bi e wo ha enwuram nam awodo fu yodompo akrante wo twen ni nyina bi so e wo ha obetumi abahwibi na wa feel très bien eti de Paul Adom kwase na odebra omampani no ye atwa ani mu so omampani ba bayi ano na won so so hwe a kwase so obisa no hwan na the most worst minister ever under this 9-month year in this aban our bemwe try me next video.
I was say why are doing so person who took across South Africa maybe holidays who person could do holidays for South Africa say when we yere o ma ebusua say mu yokuo asori we person ko conference me kanfu baby dia mo South Africa Johannesburg I want to work say ni prayer make no wan say Mr. Mike o friend na catch friend say abroad na dey no man in the man na o person o South Africa holidays tie ono o medjuma so wo hunu ye bi wo South Africa e na o person o be fa wo de uko o maame o papa e na o person o be fa wo ko ba ontimi fa wo nko a friend Mr. Mike obeboa wo ono abema hotel reservation ko no on hotels wo bi enko da me catch on obema hotel reservation no invitation no you South Africa is visa at arrival but when nya de o ko no ho de o ko akoye baby obeda na ade a sika wo ho de forget it but obeji bi bia the amount now so for holidays our South Africa say 1 month de ma wa mesrew udi 1 month na and say be so asan brefi because o dwane na okokonya asema me offer me ma ne mboa me call for holidays and ma be fia sunje mu na me kire baby papa en ko fefe be obi nkwaji usika ndi obi nkoba okro no de mic ye ni opa plane ticket no wa beto wa de one de ni say hotel reservation ni ade ni obe de amount bisrew ka chen say abro and de no man de ma o no man ye plus 276 10550099 plus 276 10550009 and I'll bet me a friend me akasa abro me no man that screen no 0243302191